I thought I just heard a bomb, and I just came out here, and then there was like a whole bunch of cops everywhere.
Neighbors tonight are still in shock after a plane crashed into a local home. The pilot is dead and the woman inside barely escaped. Now investigators are still trying to piece together what went wrong.
Jolie Winaga live at the scene of that crash in McMinnville. Joe, you've learned the pilot's name?
Good evening, Kelly and Jeff. Late tonight, that pilot was identified as 56-year-old Charles Yochelson of Sheridan. As we give you a live look at the house here, the wreckage of this single-engine airplane still inside the home tonight here in McMinnville. As mentioned, a woman and her 2 dogs were inside at the time of the crash. All survived with the exception of the pilot. A consoling hug from neighbors to a woman who survived a plane crashing through her McMinnville home Monday afternoon. She was inside at the time.
It was just something really scary. I've never been in something like this, so it's really scary.
Miraculously, she and her 2 dogs escaped unhurt. She tells neighbors the single-engine plane crashed several feet away from her as she was doing homework in her living room.
I heard like a boom, and I thought it was like an explosion.
FAA investigators are releasing few details so far about the crash. The pilot was identified as 56-year-old Charles Yochelson of Sheridan. Neighbors crawled through the wreckage to reach his body and tried to save his life.
My roofer man got to the guy who did the pilot and flying the plane and felt his pulse and all that, and he couldn't get a pulse on him.
Neighbors report hearing a loud pop before the violent crash. The cause is still unknown. Debris from the small plane strewn across several homes.
And then over on the neighbor's driveway, a wing was laying there.
Neighbors' hearts go out to the pilot and his family, but they're thankful the woman inside wasn't hurt and their homes spared. Police wrap up their investigation, preparing for the FAA Tuesday morning. The wreckage still inside the heavily damaged home. And we're back live just after 11 o'clock tonight. You can see exactly where that plane hit. Once again, the wreckage still inside that house tonight. The homeowner and her 2 dogs are staying with friends, we understand. In the meantime, FAA investigators, along with investigators of the NTSB, will be back out here tomorrow morning gathering evidence, hopefully determining a cause. Reporting live here in McMinnville, I'm Joel Winaga, KOIN 6 News. Kelly and Jeff will send it back to you.
Joel, thank you. And over the years, more than 100 people have died in crashes involving the Lancair aircraft. A few years ago, we visited the Lancair factory to find out why, and the company maintains they are not to blame. We have shown you the images many times on the news. Fatal plane crashes with one thing in common. They all involve the Lancair, a plane made in Oregon. The Lancair is built in Redmond, Oregon, but it's a kit plane, meaning the FAA considers it an experimental aircraft. The customer can put it together in their own garage. The problem? Not all customers follow instructions. Some bolt on a more powerful engine, heavier than Lancair recommends. The company maintains there has never been a structural failure of a Lancair when flying in the normal envelope of the plane. Annual inspections are supposed to catch planes outside the envelope, but if you build it yourself?
If they build their own airplane, they can get a special certificate and they can do their own yearly inspections.
You can have the factory build the plane for you with expert technicians. It costs more, but it could prevent
twisted wings, warped wings. The main thing is fuel leaks.
Having the factory build your Lancair allows a pilot to concentrate on training and judgment. Those skills, along with weather, says Lancair, are the main causes of fatal accidents.
You know, we've had weather-related accidents. This is a kit plane still. I mean, if the big airliners don't go there, why would a Lancair?
It's interesting to note that the latest Lancair models have high-tech avionics systems, including that emergency parachute that the pilot can deploy to bring the whole plane down safely in an emergency. Kelly?